Merry Christmas, everyone. Shout out to my 32 subscribers. Just been thinking about some stuff. Man, this lighting is amazing. Probably have abs in this lighting. Just. I'm on the bulk. Good old Christmas belly. But yeah, I'm up to, my pecs are coming along. Up to 80, 79, 80 kilos, like right on that precipice. My goal is to get to like probably 85 kilograms, and then I'll drop it back to 80 or 75. And let's see if I can set this up at all. There we go. That's nice. The sun is bright. I need to be like there. But anyway, I'm gonna look mostly this way. So, been thinking, right? Because right now, I've got the landscaping business. I've got a personal brand, 95 followers, that I'm kind of keen on growing, creating something with that. Because, like, you know, scrolling through reels, there's so much opportunity there. But I just, like, don't fully know what to create, what's the offer. I've got a few ideas rattling around in my head. That's why I'm recording this video, to talk it out, talk to myself, have a conversation with myself, and figure it out. Whether it's even something worth pursuing right now because of the landscaping business. And the difficulty is with the because the personal branding, all that sort of stuff, is like that could be good the next 5 years if I really focus on it. And then long term, it's hard. It depends on where you go with it. So I'm like, long term, initially I'm like, long term might not have much value, but then you look at Alex Hormozi, and you look at the value he's created off his personal brand, which is astronomical, like in the billions. So I'm like, maybe that's the future of my personal brand. But you know, the landscaping company, the future of that is huge as well. Like, because the future of that is not just landscaping, it's labor. And if I can understand and really drive economic value from maximizing the amount of labor I can control, I guess is the thought, and then replace that labor with the humanoid robots, because that is like when you think about output is work times leverage. That's like a giant level of leverage, where you can get 2 robots for the price of 1 person's manual labor. So even if a robot works at half the speed of a human, you get 2 robots for the price of 1 year of 1 person. So instantly those 2 robots have made back the return on the investment in the first year. And then they're, profitable for the rest of the time you own them. That might be like a 5 to 10 year lifespan. So the long-term potential of that is huge. And it's just a question of how quickly is the robot revolution going to come. And I'm kind of thinking, like, at this point, we're in 2024 now. The video was just released of Optimus walking up and down a mulched hill without vision, and it like slips and it catches itself, and like, that's crazy. So that's already, it's good enough to walk on uneven surfaces, and then all you need to do is like chuck a whippersnipper in its hands and it can do whippersnipping for days. So I'm like, do I yeah, just keep pushing the landscaping business. You know, just go for bigger and bigger contracts. Right now we're doing a lot of residential work, but one of the futures is going commercial for a lot of it. And yeah, big contracts that I can just deploy 10 robots on. So that's kind of where I'm thinking of taking the business next year, 2025, is to delegate as much of the residential stuff. At the moment I've got a dashboard, which is cool, and I've got a field coordinator, and he can handle, like, he can do the quotes, the job up to a certain skill level, then the invoicing and the follow-up and the customer service. He's great at that, but he just lacks a few skills in like the retaining walls and hardscaping sort of stuff. So yeah, I need to bring on someone who can do that stuff, and that way we can get those leads through, but then I can focus on getting contracts for commercial jobs, because like one contract for a commercial job might be, the profit from one sale of that would probably be the equivalent, and like a recurring job as well would be the equivalent to maybe 5 jobs of residential. I'm hoping, you know, I'm thinking like 2 days worth of work for 2 to 4 people. Yeah. So I don't know how to get those contracts yet, where to even look, but I'm sure I can figure it out in the new year. So, because I've got a working Facebook ad that I can continue getting residential landscaping clients. I haven't got a working ad for residential maintenance clients though. That's something I could do, but I'd much rather focus on getting commercial. Yeah, it's like if I could snap my fingers and have an ad for residential, I'd be like, yeah, okay. But we've got enough residential maintenance clients that fills up the current schedule quite enough. And then the landscaping jobs are obviously better, and I can keep getting more of those, but I need people to fulfill the work. And then yeah, it's a commercial job. So with the personal branding, I'm kind of thinking like, is it worth focusing on it? And my thought process is like, it might be, because at the moment I'm not taking a salary from the landscaping business. I'm keeping all the money inside it. But to live, my burn rate is probably $2,000 a month. So I'm just living off savings because we sold a rental property. It's another story that I haven't mentioned on the channel, but I will someday. We bought a rental property, did it up for 6 months, and then held it. The value went up by like $200,000, which is crazy, within like 2 months. Did I say 2 months? 12 months. And yeah, my brother and I did it together. So that was like, after we borrowed money from our parents to finish it, because we ran out of money. We underestimated how long it would take. So to borrow money, finish it. So then we sold it, paid them back. Then we got like $60,000 each. And so I'm just living off that at the moment. So I'm wondering, yeah, because at some point next year I'm gonna start taking a salary so that I don't have to keep eating out of those savings. So I'm wondering where I get that salary from. You know, if I focus on the landscaping stuff, get the commercial clients, get it profitable, really profitable to the point where I can take my salary from the landscaping business without it negatively affecting the company. Because at the moment, if I do, it kind of negatively affects it. Not too much, but it's just like, because I'm working 3 days in the field, 2 days in the office. The 3 days I do in the field, is enough to cover my own salary, with the money being kind of stable, and then it just goes up slowly but surely from the work that the rest of the team does. So if I was to take more of a salary, it pretty much would stay the same. So the business account just wouldn't grow, and over time it would just slowly get down and down because we buy new equipment and new tools and stuff. Yeah. So I'm kind of either I can do that, ideally I want to stop working 3 days a week in the field. So I essentially can stop working 3 days in the field when either we have enough profit, because that's it, how much is enough. So I actually want to quantify this. It would be so currently we do between 30, I'd say roughly around 30 grand a month, maybe sometimes 35, sometimes 25, so roughly 30. And of that profit, I should know these numbers, but I think on that 30, profit might be 5 to 10, depending on if we have big expenditures vehicles needing to be re-registered, that happened the past couple months. So that's 3 grand total. So if you're working on a 10 grand profit, that takes it down to 7 grand, maybe 6. So it's between 5 and 10. So if I was to grow through maintenance contracts and other landscaping, whatever, I'd have to grow it to probably 50 grand on average, from 30 to 50. So that's an extra 20 grand to go up. So out of 30, if it's a third, it's 10. What's that? Profit margin. 1/3, 30. Is it 30%? 1/3. This is why you do maths in school, kids. I think it is. Yeah, a third. Because a third of 100 is 33.333. Yeah. So it's roughly 33% or 30%, you could say. So with 30% margins, if we could maintain those margins and go up to 50 grand, what's 30% of 50 grand? Well, you could say 50% is 50% of what am I saying? 50% of 50 grand is 25 grand. Then 25% would be half of 25 grand, which is 12 and a half is 25%, so it's slightly more. So maybe about 15 grand. That's crazy, hey? Growing from 30 at 30% is 10 grand. 30% profit margin at 30 grand is 10. But a 30% profit of 50 grand is only 15. It's I gotta raise my revenue from 30 grand, I gotta get 20 grand extra revenue a month just to get an extra 5 grand of profit. Like, eh. But anyway, if we were doing 15 grand a month profit, then I could take my salary, which even at 5 grand a month, that's a third of the profit just goes to my salary. It's like, man. So that'd be okay. So it's like, okay, I can do that. I can make that my goal. Get to 50 grand revenue, 15k profit, take 5 grand. That's one way to get my salary. And if I'm doing that, I'm not working those 3 days a week. Or, and I'm thinking, is it realistic to achieve that by mid next year? And then that causes a whole bunch of questions of operational complexity. Do I need new vehicles? Do I need new tools, new team members? Yes, yes, yes. So I can do one more vehicle on this property, which means I could do new tools. It's investment, but and then new team member, that's gonna happen anyways. And then there'll be a few more team members. So yeah, I think it is doable by mid next year. So that's kind of, I mean, that's like the goal anyways. The question is, with this personal branding stuff, is can that stuff be done? Like, can I make 5 grand a month at the same time that I'm doing the other stuff? And can I do it with less effort than it will take me to get the other stuff? Okay, well, then you got to compare. How am I going to get 50k per month with landscaping versus how am I going to get 5k per month with the personal brand? And if I've got expenses and anyone on payroll for the personal brand, how much do I need minus what I'm paying them? And off the top of my head, it feels like the personal branding stuff will be easier if I can obviously do it right. That's the question. So personal branding would be posting. I want a way to automate posting daily with quotes. Just a video of me doing something throughout my day, and then put quotes above it, something motivational. Or no, depending. That's right. I wrote down a list. Depending on the need.